Good morning, good morning, good morning. I feel like I'm in the military. I do more shit before 5 a.m. than most people do. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Good morning, So Done, Christoph, Crafting, Wisco, Snuggle. I'm trying to see. I see 26 people, but I don't see them in the chat. I'm sorry, 36 people, but I don't see them in the chat. So anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning, and thanks to all my new subscribers. Hi, Minnie. Good morning. Um, I don't know if you guys follow Grumpy Italian or Redzilla, but last night they did two great lives, and it was really, really good. So, seems like we have another person in the community that's lying. Well, not in this community, but anyway. Um, I checked this morning. Karen Huger is not due in court for sentencing until this today. It wasn't yesterday. It's today that she's due in court for her sentencing. And if we don't remember, Karen had an accident last year in March. DUI, come to find out, it's her fourth DUI. She didn't learn from the first, second, the third, now the fourth one. She's facing a minimum, well, they said 2 years, but probably 6 months. Uh, in my opinion, she really needs to be put in jail. She needs to. Good morning, Colleen, with the K, sweetie. How are you doing? She really needs to learn. She keeps skating with these DUIs, and we know because I showed you guys the videos of her DUI arrest. Um, First, she said that she had a beer, a Stella. Before then, if you listen to it, uh, she had had champagne. She was a complete mess, slobbering, couldn't get her stuff out. Um, Talking to the detectives like, you don't know who I am. I'm the Grand Dame and all this bullshit. She deserves jail time. That is my opinion. I know Debbie doesn't agree with me on that, but Karen deserves jail time. Okay. So whatever she gets, she deserves. Even the prosecutor stated that the only reason she checked into rehab is because she was trying to avoid her sentencing. Now, she also stated in court that good morning, So Done. Yeah, after the fourth one, shit. After the second one, the first one, okay, you need to complete this, and this. But no, she didn't do that. Good morning, Jen and Barrett. Oh, you're welcome. It was who do you know that gave you that issue that membership out? She did 5 that day. You're welcome. I'll make sure she knows. But anyway, the prosecutors are not buying it. I don't think the judge is buying it. She was convicted out of 5 of the 6 charges that she had. To me, shit, they should have hit her with all of them. Seriously, every single one of them. So she is she is facing up to 2 years. I think she should serve at least 12 months. Fuck 6. Well, let's go for 15. Um, if they, see, and I'm surprised at Montgomery County. Hi, Sarah motherfucking Z. I am shocked. I am shocked. And they acquitted her of reckless driving. Huh? She was doing speeds up to 120 on a 2-lane road. And they acquitted her of reckless driving. But she had, what did she have? She had driving under the influence, negligent driving, failure to control speed, failure to notify authorities of an address change. Are we fucking kidding? You acquit her of reckless driving? Hi, Twisted Tea. You're welcome. I only spoke the truth. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. 4 DUIs. And just so we can remember what she did, where is it? Hold on. This is how her car looked. I'm trying to get the pictures up. This is how her car looked. So that's her car. I can't make it any bigger. That's her car. That's her. Drunk, flirting with the cop, falling asleep, not wanting to read the stuff that they were presenting to her. That's her. That's her.
You've got a glow.
Oh shit, we got a commercial. Hold on. Let me make this bigger. I'm gonna let that commercial go. Skip that.
Here at 7, a reality TV star will learn her fate in a Montgomery County courtroom today.
Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger was convicted of DUI in December, and she is due to be sentenced in Rockville today. That's where Melanie Olick is with a preview. Morning, Mel.
Rockville, Maryland. Hi, DJ Mandingo.
So Karen Huger did not testify in her trial, but today she is expected to address the judge and ask for leniency. In court filings, however, prosecutors called her a severe risk to public safety. Yep. It was March 19th, 2024, when Karen Huger crashed her Maserati on Oakland Drive in Potomac, Maryland. It was 11:50 p.m. Her car drove up onto the median, struck a pedestrian crossing sign, and came to rest in a grassy area on top of another.
Now imagine if that was a pedestrian instead of the sign. Imagine if that was a pedestrian instead of a damn sign.
Body-worn camera video from responding officers shows Miss Huger slurring her words, unsteady and uncooperative. She refused sobriety tests. Defense attorneys claimed Huger was emotionally distressed and not legally intoxicated. She was convicted in a 3-day trial. In recommending their sentence, prosecutors cited 3 prior DUI offenses. They also said prior to her trial, Huger did not enroll in any alcohol treatment programs, instead spending time at the Miraval Luxury Spa Resort. Huger did
we hear that? She was at a luxury spa resort. She wasn't in any fucking rehab.
Enter a treatment program after her conviction. Now, prosecutors are asking for a 2-year sentence with all but 6 months suspended. So if the judge agrees, that means 6 months in jail.
Hi,
they also
Angela.
want a few other stipulations as well, including interlock devices on her vehicles. Now, Huger's defense attorneys say that they, again, asking for leniency and believe that the judge should lean heavier on a sentence that deals with rehabilitation.
Oh my God, thank you.
Court gets underway here in Montgomery County Circuit Court at 9:30 this morning.
So 9:30 this morning, she will face whatever she's going to get, and she needs it. Now, I drink on occasions. I do. But mostly I drink when I'm in Vegas. Okay. I don't drink home by myself. Good morning, Daddy's Disappointment. Or I drink if I'm in a social environment. But I know if I'm driving, I may have one glass or a one martini. That's it. And then I'm eating dinner. And then we're sitting there talking. Then we're going to have after dinner coffee or tea. I'm not going to drink to the point where I'm impaired and I can't drive myself home. Wait a minute. Girl, offer me flowers. I love flowers. Good morning, Tommy. Welcome. I'm just saying, people do drink, but this is your 4th DUI. You heard before, even when she was filming this past season, it was all, it was a deer ran into the road. It was someone ran her off the road. Bitch, you wouldn't know if a tree hit your car. That's how inebriated you were. 4 DUIs. You deserve prison. You could have killed yourself. You could have killed someone else. You could have killed a family in a van. It doesn't matter. You don't deserve to be on the road. her license should be suspended for at least 3 years. You know, I heard Debbie going, free the grand dame. I said, girl, please. She deserves prison. Prison. Prison, prison, prison. But I wanted to show you guys something. So I have a friend of mine that runs a channel on IG, and we're always talking about missing kids. I dropped the channel link in the chat earlier. This young baby right here, okay? She's said to be in New Orleans, and they're asking for public assistance with locating this missing juvenile. Her name is Ariel Lynette Mack. Okay, at that picture, she was 2 years old. Now she's 5. The mother had the baby, and then a guardian petitioned the court for guardianship of her in Las Vegas and moved to New Orleans. Now the guardian died. Okay, the guardian died in 2020. No one knows where this baby is now. So she was reported missing in September 2021. And this is the 3rd time that a missing bulletin has been issued for her. If anybody knows anything about this young girl, this child, they are looking for. Then we have Brittany Thompson. She was last heard from the afternoon of Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023. She was in a white Mercedes truck, and they found it abandoned on Old Browning Road in Greenwood, Mississippi. She's had no contact with her family or loved ones since she contacted her mother on that day. They're saying that it's uncharacteristic of her not to make contact with family, and they are worried for her well-being. They're also asking for you to contact them at Crime Stoppers or at the Lefevre County Sheriff's Department, okay? And we're going to do this one. This young lady went missing February 26, 2024. 2026. Today is my granddaughter's birthday. She's been missing a year. Okay? They're saying she may be with her brother. They're not sure. The police are actively following these leads and are seeking to carefully reunite Yang with her responsible guardians. In a bid to amplify their search, St. Cloud Police Department is reaching out extensively to the public to aid in the safe return of Yang. So I dropped the link in the chat. I also shared these posters on Instagram for the missing. Oh my God. Yeah, don't drink and drive. Don't do that. There are so many stories like this, but I'm getting ready to show you guys one story. It's 2 stories, and I find it quite disgusting. And while one of them is like 6 years old, the other one is quite recent. And but I just wanted you to see this. This is nothing new about these grown-ass men that are going after young children. And when I say young, I mean young children. Okay? Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. And before I do that, no, I'll talk about that after. Okay, so here we go.
Anything you want to say, sir?
No.
Exclusive, dramatic video tonight of a man deputies say got an 11-year-old girl pregnant. Derek Burris didn't have much to say when he was arrested.
But our cameras were rolling when he blew up during a bond hearing. 7 News reporter Nikel Smith has details on this case that the Child Advocacy Center says should be a wake-up call for the community.
Tonight, video you'll only see here on 7 News.
I waive my rights.
Shut up. Don't talk in here.
I waive my rights.
Don't talk
I
in
waive
here.
my rights. Nigga.
The
He
man
walked out of
deputies
his
say
bond
got an
hearing.
11-year-old pregnant, walking out on his own bond hearing.
He's not gonna get bond anyway. He's bond denied. I cannot set bond on anything carries up to life in prison.
Investigators say Derek Kendall Burris assaulted a girl and got her pregnant at 11 years old. Detectives say she is related to an acquaintance of the suspect, and DNA proves Burris is the father of the now 12-year-old girl's baby. Investigators say the girl originally told school personnel the assault was by someone closer to her age, and eventually told them it was Burris.
Anything you want to say, sir?
No. This wasn't Burris's first run-in with the law. We checked with the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division and learned that back in 2004, he was charged with armed robbery with a deadly weapon and sentenced to 10 years in prison. But it's his charge this year that'll impact the young girl's life forever, according to Susie Cole with the Children's Advocacy Center.
It used to be that people would try to sweep abuse under the rug and pretend it didn't happen, and what we know is it doesn't go away.
She says the center is seeing record numbers of assault allegations, but
this is
by request of the family. This court will be sentencing without comment, and everyone knows how hard that's going to be for them.
9 years old.
The court considers this the worst of the offense.
The judge sends a strong message during the sentencing of a man who made national headlines for raping and impregnating a child. Hersan Fuentes changed his plea today and will now serve life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
This case shocking the nation last year after the girl ended up traveling to Indiana to get an abortion following the Supreme Court's reversal of Roe versus Wade.
Investigator Haley Nelson's been following the case from the start and was in the court today. She joins us now live from the courthouse with more on the sentencing. Haley?
Bob Stacia, a deal was reached in this case, avoiding the need for a trial. Fuentes will serve life in prison with the possibility of parole in 25 years. Today in the courtroom, the judge sent a very direct message, and we did see multiple law enforcers show up inside to be on standby, so to speak.
This court will be sentencing without comment, and everyone knows how hard that's going to be for them, because the court considers this the worst of the
9 years old, Snuggle.
But the family has asked for me to sentence without comment.
Now, this is the case that we talked about 5 months ago, 6 months ago, where this 9-year-old was assaulted hard and couldn't get an abortion because of the new laws, and they had to find a state to bring her to. But then they tried to arrest the parent for taking her. She's 9 years old. Shit is crazy.
The family has agreed to this, and this is a hard pill for this court to swallow.
Strong words from Judge Julie Lynch after Hersan Fuentes changed his plea to guilty Wednesday on rape charges, a deal being reached in the case that garnered national attention and sparked outrage.
If that family hadn't begged me to take this joint recommendation, this would never be happening.
Prosecutors detailing a timeline in court. Fuentes now pleading guilty to rape. The victim was 9 years old at the time and later traveled with her mother to Indiana to get an abortion.
On July 6th of 2022, members of the Columbus Police Department went to the child's residence to obtain DNA samples from the minor child, as well as all males who were living in the home at the time, which included the defendant, Mr. Fuentes, who was the live-in boyfriend of the child's mother.
Did you hear that? The live-in boyfriend of the child's mother. Does this remind you of Madeline Soto's case? The live-in boyfriend. I compared it to Madeline Soto back then. Stephen Stearns was assaulting Madeline since she was like 10 or 11. And now he's K'd her. And everything in me tells me that young girl was pregnant. Or she was going to tell someone else what he was doing to her, because undoubtedly her mother wasn't protecting her. Stop letting these freaking men move in your home when you have young kids. Live-in boyfriend my ass.
Prosecutors said Fuentes' DNA was a match. Judge Lynch asking Fuentes if he understood. Fuentes communicating through an interpreter, only saying yes.
Do you understand you're waiving these rights when you enter this guilty plea?
Look at him. He don't think he did anything wrong. Hi, T-Love.
I'm willing to have tried, folks, just so everybody knows.
He will also have to check in for life as a Tier 3 sex offender.
A total of life in prison with the possibility of parole. The possibility of parole.
The possibility.
In 25 years.
The prosecution team did not have a comment for us after court. Fuentes' defense team says he was anxious to have this resolved.
We're happy that we were able to get it done today for everybody involved.
So, possibility, meaning it's not guaranteed. He has to serve 25 years. Stephen Stearns is trying to get the death penalty. He's trying to get the death penalty off of his upcoming case in September for molesting and killing Madeline Soto. And you can't tell me that young girl was not killed inside of that home. The mother has been caught in so many lies. And she has some type of, what is it called? It's called partial immunity, but she can still be prosecuted. I haven't seen any kind of damn charges come against her. No charges. This little girl was 9 years old. That shit is crazy. What do you get out of a child? I got to find that video where a teacher was just caught in her car having sex with an 11-year-old boy. And she's 38 years old. What the hell is an 11-year-old boy going to do for you? Jesus Christ, these sick-ass people. And everybody sits there and think that gay people are pedos. No, they're gay. Sick people.
And Fuentes has been in custody. He was taken away today. We've put even more on abc6onyourside.com. Live at the Franklin County Courthouse, I'm Haley Nelson.
I wanted to show that, but then let me tell you, our Pope, well, my Pope, I don't know how many of you are Catholic in here or not. I have no idea. Let me just stop this for a minute. This is going to be Sebastian Rogers' mother just did an interview yesterday after a year of her son missing. I remember when he went missing last year, I remember I showed Nancy Grace interview with Proudfoot and the mom. I said then something wasn't right. She's looking towards him for the answers. They were talking about if the lights were on and she said no, he said yes. And so Nancy's asking him, well, how would you know if you're not there? Oh, he said, because it's on a timer. Then there's a grainy film of two people carrying something out of the home. And that's been circulating all over the place. So she did an interview. And I'm just, that woman, you judge for yourself. Don't listen to me. It's just something about her that doesn't sit right with me. Never has. Never has.
The last time I saw my son was when he went to bed.
Tonight marks 1 year since Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home near Beach High School in Sumner County. He's 16 now, but there are still no confirmed sightings or leads in the case.
Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino sat down with Rogers' mother, Katie Proudfoot, and the search for her son and the ongoing public scrutiny surrounding this investigation.
Green tea! A voice and an exuberant smile that have been missing for a year that Sebastian Rogers has gone without his favorite things.
Cats are the number one. He loves animals, almost all animals.
Animals, video games, books, and any chance in the pool.
He loves water. He swims like a fish.
Sebastian also missed his birthday.
December 7th. He would have... He turned 16, and he should be home for that.
But Sebastian, who has autism, hasn't been home since February of last year. After dinner at the Texas Roadhouse on the 25th, Katie says she and her son went home.
Did anything happen the night he went missing that was like cause him to run away? Was he punished in any way? An argument? Just a normal.
My understanding, this young man was not wanted in that home, and he was supposed to be going to stay with his dad because Proudfoot was getting his daughter. And even though the mother was trying to keep, the ex-wife was trying to keep the daughter away from him, she lost in court and she had to relinquish her daughter for his time. But this is the same man that abused his first stepson. This is the same man that abused, and I'm not saying allegedly because it's been put in court. The same man that abused his wife while she was pregnant. The same man who didn't want Sebastian around his daughter. I think that whole family is fucked up. All of them.
Normal night.
It was a normal night. It was a calm night.
That turned tumultuous by the next morning.
Yes, when I went in his room and he wasn't there. He wasn't in his bed.
Katie says she frantically searched the house and drove around the neighborhood at 6:30 a.m. until she and Sebastian's stepfather, who says he was away for work at the time, called police.
We need you to search your properties every day.
But an Amber Alert and an extensive week-long search didn't yield one significant lead or even a glimpse of the boy on any doorbell cam video. Days later, investigators combed through a landfill 2 hours away, still.
So how did he get out the house? Everybody in that neighborhood, expensive, has door cam cameras. They got the Ring cam. No one saw that child leave that home. How did he get out that house? Jennifer, good morning, baby. How are you? Thank you. Explain to me, how did Sebastian get out that house? I believe that video where you see two people carrying something out that home and putting in the back of that truck. I believe that video. That's not AI generated. It's too fucking grainy.
Saying they had found nothing.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out?
We're not ruling anything out.
For the next year, any activity involving Sebastian's case would fuel droves of online followers and even a restraining order against one YouTuber.
There were quite a bit of people that were, sending some very threatening and hateful messages to us.
What would you say to those people?
Just stop.
Fox 17 News sent the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the lead agency in the investigation, a list of questions in anticipation of this story, including asking if there are any new leads, what kind of evidence detectives have vetted, and if investigators still believe there is no indication of foul play.
JT, undoubtedly, Dog the Bounty Hunter can't seem to find him either. So maybe JT, as a private investigator, he can go and solve this case. And let's see if Sebastian is gay. Let's see if he was out there whoring around. All the things that he labels all of these missing and deceased people. Let's see if JT can solve this one. Let's see if he can do this one.
Sheriff Eric Craddock responded in an email saying, "This is an active and ongoing investigation. We continue to work with our state and federal partners. We will continue to seek a resolution in this case."
What do you believe happened to Sebastian?
Oh, Jennifer. Yeah, girl, come on the line.
Unfortunately, over the last year, I have thought every single day, night, every moment.
Really, you have?
Every possibility of
Really?
something that could happen to him, where he could have gone, if he had gone with someone,
Really?
if someone took him willingly, unwillingly, if he'd run away and got lost, if he'd a million different things. And unfortunately, I don't know.
But Katie and a private investigator she retained believe this piece of surveillance video taken the night that Sebastian went missing could be a lead in the case.
1217, a couple 100 yards away, there's a figure.
The Sumner County Sheriff said the video has no relevance to the case, but the Proudfoots aren't dismissing it until the identity of the person is confirmed by investigators. Unfortunately, any
Looks like he was
possible
coming out of
break
his
in
house.
Sebastian's case has gone nowhere.
No child goes poof.
Yeah.
He's
There's
so-
that piece of shit right there. No child goes poof, says Chris Proudfoot. No child goes poof, but you abused them.
Where?
Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, has also endured a year without his son.
Sebastian, son.
Seth brought in a team offering their own reward of $347,000. That's on top of the FBI's $50,000 reward.
To stop looking is to give up hope.
Well, that was Seth. Sorry.
Hope that's still evident among volunteer searchers.
I'm not going to stop.
Missing signs and ribbons in Sebastian's favorite color.
And God, right now we're seeking you to reveal the truth to us.
Katie says detectives searching for that truth left no question unasked.
Lie detectors.
Yes.
For yourself
and my husband.
Which Katie says they passed. We don't know what investigators say about.
I thought they said Proudfoot didn't take a lie detector test. And they said her lie detector test was inconclusive. So how was that passing? Am I confused on that? I must be confused.
About the test, but Katie says they have searched her home.
Thoroughly, many times. Cadavers, searchers.
What do police tell you at this point? What do they think?
The dogs didn't pick up his scent walking down the street.
Unfortunately, that they have zero evidence.
Zero trace of the boy with a smile that's imprinted on countless hearts, especially, Katie says, on her own.
I would just like to tell my son that I love him.
Really, girl?
And to know that we are never going to stop searching.
Did you tell the news reporter how you said he was a handful and how you were sending his father all these messages that he needed to come there? You were going to wait till after the school year so he can go to him because you just couldn't handle him anymore and your husband couldn't take care of him and didn't want him around. Did you tell him that? No, you didn't.
Lost smile can be found.
He didn't take a test.
Anyone
Thank you,
who
Wisco.
believes they may have seen Sebastian Rogers should immediately call 1-800-TBI-FIND or the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. There is a vigil for Sebastian this Saturday, March 1st at 2 p.m. at the Celebration of Life Church in Hendersonville. And we will certainly continue to update you on any information we learn in his case.
Good morning,
I'm Kelly
allegedly.
Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Good morning. I just can't. Oh, I'm going to drop that video for you guys to watch too with Ruby Frank, husband and her son. Thank you, allegedly. Exactly. She went on vacation. She's so worried about her son. Bullshit. Let that be one of my kids when they were younger or my grandkids. There is nothing that was going to stop me. Nothing. Good morning, Mr. Jimenez. Good morning. Nothing would stop me. So, guys, let me let you know about the Pope. 1 minute, the Pope is they're seeing improvements. The next minute, he's in a critical condition. The doctor is not giving a prognosis. They're saying it can go one way or the other. I'm like, okay, what doctors do we have here? So, hold on. Let me just show you this. Now, he's been in the hospital for 11 days. He went in with pneumonia in both lungs. Even the pontiff says that he doesn't think he's going to make it. Okay? So
news out of Rome, where we are getting an update on the health of Pope Francis. At last word, the 88-year-old pontiff remains critical but stable 11 days after being hospitalized for pneumonia in both lungs. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Seth Doan joins us live from Rome. Seth, thank you for being with us. What's the latest on Pope Francis?
Well, as you mentioned, Liz, critical, but is in critical condition, but stable. A few more details. No acute respiratory crisis. We had heard over the weekend, of course, he had that prolonged respiratory crisis. That was something that he has not had since the weekend.
Grumpy, look, I just spoke the truth, and those were my feelings, okay? Those were my feelings, and I said it. The first a couple of times, he was funny. After that, he got progressively worse, and he pushes to see how far he can go. When he's put there on, he starts deflecting, over talking, loud, accusing people of doing shit. And when you start doing that, that shows me that you're guilty of something. I just sit back and watch. That's it. I just watch. And he started to remind me of Tony Silo. And it's the truth.
His blood parameters are stable. In the evening, he had a scheduled CAT scan to look at the issues in his lungs. Of course, he has pneumonia in both lungs, so he had a CAT scan to take a look at that. No results of that were released by the Vatican tonight, but he did have that CAT scan. One noteworthy thing, they say he's still not being given a prognosis by his doctors, and that's interesting. That he's in critical condition, and his doctors have told us from Friday right along they are not willing to say or not able to say things could go either way. He could get better or worse, but I would say this is a relatively, at least not discouraging update. Sometimes we get much more grim updates we start hearing about new things. I was asking Dr. John LaPook what he would be listening for, and one of the things he said was for new things to pop up, for us to start hearing like what we heard on Sunday night of concerns of early
They said his kidneys are shutting down. That's what they said yesterday. They said his kidneys are starting to show signs of failure.
Things like that. So nothing that stands out in this, but not saying he's in the clear for sure. Liz?
Sure. Another kind of, it sounds like, encouraging element to this, Seth, is despite his condition, Pope Francis was still able to perform some of his official Vatican duties from the hospital. What can you tell us about that?
Hi, Gwen.
Yeah, we know that he met with Cardinal Parolin, the number 2, the Secretary of State, and his deputy. We know he started the process towards sainthood for 5 different candidates. The Catholic Church has been sending out messages saying the Pope is working. Every day we get these bulletins that describe when different people are nominated to different posts, an archbishop here or there, and they've continued to send those out, really saying all along, and in fact in tonight's report also mentioning that the Pope had resumed his work activities. There is an effort to show for obviously the health of the Pope, but also the health of the Church, that the Pope is still working and that the affairs of the Church move forward.
Okay, let me stop this. Yeah, okay, so the Vatican lies too, okay? And Jennifer, you're right. They wanted to put him in an institution. She's never said that, ever. But the messages were put out. Now, this shit is crazy. This shit is so crazy. The pontiff, the Pope, in a thing they released yesterday, they said he was starting to show signs of kidney failure. Now, this was 18 hours ago, okay? 18 hours ago. So at that time, that's what they were saying. But when they released the press thing yesterday, because my son called me, and I was like, okay, he's showing signs of kidney failure. That's what I'm saying. They're saying he's still working. Really? For real? They pretended Michael Jackson was alive when they took him out the house. You can look at that man on a gurney and see he wasn't breathing. I'm trying to be positive here, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. This is his third time being hospitalized with pneumonia, and now he's been there for 11 days. 11 days. When, who was it that died? When Pope John, when he died, he had been dead for about 8 hours before they announced it, and they were saying, "Oh," I'm like, really, for real? Okay, I just can't deal with these people. But I have this story that happened yesterday, and let me put up my trigger warning. I'm gonna put up this trigger warning because this is really, really bad. Okay, it's a trigger warning, and I'm gonna play it. I want you to hear what happened to this young boy, 10 years old. Y'all think I'm kidding. Everybody talked about stranger danger. Shit is happening inside of our homes every single day. Kids are being abused. Hi, Susan.
To be babysitting a child, but today she admits to killing him. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. This is one of the worst cases of child abuse our state has ever seen, and it's one 8 News Now investigator Vanessa Murphy has been closely following. Here she is with the latest, and we do want to warn you first. This story is of a very sensitive nature.
Crystal Stevens admits to killing 4-year-old Brandon Steckler.
Oh, this is
part of a plea deal. What this means, she will spend the rest of her life in prison, but she no longer faces the death penalty.
I won't ever let that little boy's name be forgotten.
Brandon Steckler Jr. was just 4 years old when Crystal Stevens tortured and murdered him in 2018.
Justice needs to be served here.
This was a friend of the child's father speaking with us, while he said he was too heartbroken for words. Loved ones told us Brandon had autism. They called him Tuku, nickname for Too Cool. As we uncovered more details about this case, we learned more about the horror Brandon experienced at the hands of Stevens.
In the 10 years I've been doing child cases...
I'm sorry, I don't want to hear that.
All right, Tony, thank you. Nothing short of torture is what police are calling the case where a 10-year-old boy's mother and another man dropped him off at the hospital.
The mother, Kimberly Mills, was ultimately taken to jail, but this man here, this is Andre Walker, he just turned himself in today. West News' Haley Grumbleholm is live with why the charges they're facing could be upgraded. Haley.
That's because tragically this little boy may not survive. The Tavares Police Department say he is fighting for his life after what happened to him. You can see his home behind me here still blocked off by a Tavares police cruiser and police tape. And based on the bruises on this little boy's body, police don't believe the abuse was a one-time thing.
To put it plainly, this child was tortured.
The Tavares Police Department says they got a call Saturday night from a hospital about Kimberly Mills and Andre Walker arriving with Mills' son, who she was performing CPR on.
Per hospital staff, Andre left the hospital immediately. Once Kimberly learned that law enforcement was on the way, she immediately left the hospital, all while her 10-year-old son was receiving CPR.
Mills returned sometime later. Her son ultimately had to be airlifted to a trauma center. The police department saying it is clear the boy was the victim of gruesome abuse.
He is covered head to toe in various size bruises that are in various stages of healing. Additionally, he is covered in burn marks. This child underwent further abuse that I am unable to discuss at this time.
Mills was arrested over the weekend on a charge of aggravated child abuse. Walker turned himself in at the Lake County Jail Monday, facing a charge of accessory after the fact aggravated child abuse. Both are being held on no bond. The Tavares Police Department says they don't believe the abuse of the boy was a one-time thing, but said there were no previous reports to the Department of Children and Families. And people who lived in their neighborhood told us they had no idea anything was going on.
I thought everything was all right, but
When I seen this, I was shocked.
Not everyone in the neighborhood wanted to go on camera, but all seemed crushed. A kid could be put through what this little boy was. The police department says the boy's father got here from out of state to be with him and his brother as soon as he could.
I wouldn't know what to do if that was my kid. I couldn't handle it.
Now, the police department says they were able to get some key evidence from inside this house that they think is going to be able to help them piece together what happened before this little boy was taken to the hospital. Now, we have been working to try and get more information about the two suspects here. We were able to confirm through a Florida Department of Health database that Mills does have an active license as a registered nurse. Covering Lake County Live in Tavares,
the mother is an active nurse.
News.
So the mother, they tortured this child. Then when she knew the police was on their way, she left. Came back an hour later with her other child. I guess she thought that was going to protect her from going to jail. When the boyfriend found out the police were on the way, he absconded. He just got out the hospital. As you heard, they were looking for him, but he turned himself in. Now we got prison guards that are out here striking, leaving prisoners in their cells with no food and no nothing because of the corrections officers that were charged with murder on Robert Brooks. We have murder and manslaughter charges. 2 have manslaughter. The 6th person was just arraigned and arrested. So we have 9 altogether. So they're not taking care of what they need to take care in the prisons. They're on strike. Are we kidding? Because they did what they did to someone, and you're going out on strike now in solidarity. Really? So you're saying what they did to Robert was fine. It was just part of the job to beat someone to death, right? That's what you're saying.
Tonight, growing tensions between Governor Hochul and thousands of correctional officers on strike outside of prisons across the state.
We've done everything we can to encourage them to get back to work.
Many of them want to go back, but their voice isn't being heard.
We are now in day 9 of this strike. Good evening. I'm Matt Malloy. Karen is off. Hundreds of corrections staffers have been served with cease and desist orders after striking without their union's approval. The governor delivering a message today, hoping to bring an end to the illegal strike. But as 13 Wham's Lowell Rose explains, it appears the two sides are still far apart.
Let me be clear. The illegal actions being taken by a number of individuals is putting the entire state at risk.
9 days and counting as thousands of correction officers strike across New York State over concerns about long working hours within state prisons due to staffing.
That's not why they're striking. That's not why they're striking. When they said they had reached an indictment, all of a sudden everybody wants to strike. Get the fuck out of here.
Shortages.
We offered them amnesty after a day or 2. They could have gone back. You made your point. Thank you.
Job. It was 12
we hear you.
Shifts.
I get it.
With 10 hours.
The hours and shifts are too long.
David Washburn, a retired corrections officer, has been standing along the picket line outside of Groveland Correctional Facility in support of the striking workers.
The reason we've all stepped out here again, many of them were ready to quit. And that's still the message. If this isn't resolved, they'll resign. If it is resolved, I know some that are still resigning.
He says the governor's remarks Tuesday are proof that she isn't listening to the prison guards' concerns.
Many of them want to go back, but their voice isn't being heard.
My son was a corrections officer. They work 4 days on, 3 days off. They do 10 or 12-hour shifts. And that was before he went overseas. So they're saying 24-hour shifts. There is no way you can work 24 hours. No way. Not even with 15-minute breaks every 3 hours. You can work 24 hours. So if that's what they're saying, I really need to look at that because that's impossible.
And that's the example in her news conference today. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they want. We just settled a good contract. You're not listening to what we're asking for is the point.
The Department of Corrections and Community Supervision says several hundred COs returned to work last Friday, but thousands remain on strike. Governor Hochul says state police started serving restraining orders over the weekend.
We've done everything we can to encourage them to get back to work. They know they're in violation of the New York State Taylor Law. They also are in violation of a temporary restraining order to return to work.
The governor says 380 people have been served so far, a process that's happening in batches through the state's attorney general's office. The governor says the amnesty offer is off the table for those continuing to strike.
9 out of 10 correctional officers are on this illegal strike, and we will go to get to every single one of them until they return to work. That's our priority, because the safety of those who work in the facility, of the incarcerated individuals, and the large communities cannot be compromised at this point.
Lowell Rose report.
This is the same governor that's refusing to remove Eric Adams from office, but she's going to put an overseer to monitor everything that goes on.
For the first time, we are hearing from a Manassas mother of 3 who was accused of fatally shooting her estranged husband. Latoya Crabb arrested and charged with murder in October.
She was just reunited with her family after she was released on bond. She spoke with our Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey, and she has more on her emotional reunion, but her attorneys advised that she not talk about the specifics of the case.
Latoya Crabb's first steps out of the Prince William County Jail in 4 months, walking straight into the arms of her mother, the tears starting even before the hug.
I saw her to the side and immediately started crying. I could not help myself, started crying. I was so happy to see her.
Once at home, more reunions, more embraces with her 3 children, ages 5, 4, and 2.
At first, they were kind of speechless for a second, but then, I missed you, and they were wondering why I had been gone so long.
This picture capturing the family's first meal together in months, and Latoya fulfilling her youngest daughter's request, painting her nails. Latoya Crabb was arrested and jailed October 21st after Manassas police say she shot her estranged husband multiple times in the couple's bedroom. Crabb's defense attorneys say the fatal gunfire came just days after Curtis Crabb allegedly sent threatening text messages. One reading, "I'm not playing around. I will hurt everyone in that house, then set it on fire." Latoya says she acted in self-defense. Her attorneys say Curtis cornered her holding a knife. She says behind bars, initially in solitary confinement, she felt hopeless.
Honestly, there was a point where I almost thought I should have just let him kill me.
But she says once she could start reconnecting with family and friends through calls, letters, and video visits, her resolve changed to be with her kids again.
Everybody who knew me and automatically believed that, I wouldn't have ever done anything except for in self-defense. It changed my hopefulness and mentality about the situation, that I'm very grateful that I'm still alive, that all of my family members are still alive.
Latoya Crabb is due back in court Thursday, where prosecutors say they plan to dismiss the murder charge she's currently facing, but they also say then they plan to take their evidence to the grand jury next month and seek a first-degree murder indictment. Prosecutors say they recently received evidence showing Ring camera video taken around the time of the shooting had been erased. Latoya's family says the cameras are in a living room area, not the bedroom, and only recorded when there was motion. With so much uncertainty ahead, Latoya says she's focused right now on spending as much time as possible with her children. They haven't noticed the ankle monitor beneath her clothing.
And we're just, taking full advantage of the time that we have, because we don't know how much time that's going to be. So I try to hope for the best and just prepare for the worst case scenario.
Latoya says she's hopeful if her case goes to trial, evidence will show she acted in self-defense and that she'll regain her freedom for good. In Manassas, I'm Julie Carey, News 4.
See, this is what I don't like. They just released a man after 29 years. They put him in jail for murder. Evidence showed that he didn't commit murder. It was self-defense, but they still put him in jail. He was just released last week, and now they're suing. So anyway, this shit is crazy. But again, we need to get JT on Sebastian's case, because I'm sure he can solve it. It's been over a year. Was a year yesterday. I'm sure he can solve this case because Doug the bounty hunter is not doing a great job. And they're so busy out there trying to shut down YouTubers and taking people to court because they're saying things that they don't like about them. Get the fuck out of here. Go find your child. Stop taking vacations. I wouldn't convict her either. I would not convict her at all. I do believe, well, we saw part of that message. But anyway, yeah. And he told her to ask his mama. What does he mean, ask my mama? So your mama's going to be okay with you killing her and burning the house down? Would your mama be okay with that? That means you're going to burn the house down with your kids in there too, right? Now, he was estranged. How was he in her home? Why was he in her bedroom? Why? I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. Explain to me, how did he get in your bedroom if you guys are estranged? I'm going to drop the Ruby Frank thing for you guys to watch whenever you feel like it. It's her ex-husband. Well, her estranged, well, I don't think they're divorced. And her son. Heidi, not sure if you saw the news on a mother that had left her kids alone. Yes, Mari, I discussed that. This was in Michigan. And just so we can't forget, her bond is $250 million. And I'm just going to show you this house one more time. So we can all just take another look at the nastiness these kids were living in. So she was arrested, $250 million bond. And yeah, I don't want court TV, but the mother was charged. And the judge was so pissed off. She doesn't want the kids around family members, but the kids are with the grandfather. So let me just show you guys this. Hold on, Mari. This is the filth that they were living in. Which
kids, a 15-year-old boy and his two sisters, ages 12 and 13.
There is shit on the door. Look at this. Hold on.
Two sisters, ages 12 and...
There's feces. Look on the door. The toilet had feces running out of it. The tub had feces all in it.
13, living in horrific conditions.
Her daughters were hiding in a bathroom that was filled with feces, piles of trash, and completely non-functional, while her son was hiding in another room. Police were astonished to find anyone in the location because it appeared to be uninhabitable, with piles of garbage and refuse several feet high, including large amounts of human excrement.
The prosecutor says Bryant lived at the home.
But here's my problem. She abandoned him for 4 years. So when they were just found, they were 15, 12, and 13. So that means they were 9, 8, and 11. You're telling me those kids don't know how to use the bathroom? Was the plumbing blocked up? I don't understand that part. I don't understand how the school didn't send a truancy officer there. I don't know why a welfare check was not done. These are school-age kids. I don't understand why the family accepted that, oh, they were being taken care of by somebody else, and how they never went over there to check on those kids. The only reason these kids were found is because she didn't pay her rent since October, and the landlord called for a welfare check. I don't understand this. This is the same state that had a woman, her mother, her 2 siblings, and 4 of her kids living in a van for 3 months when she went for help. Didn't get help. They even admitted that they let her fall through the cracks because no one checked up on her. Now 2 of her kids are dead. I don't understand this shit.
Home with all 4 kids back in 2019, but later moved out, leaving 3 of her children abandoned while 1 of the kids went to live with their dad. Detectives say the landlord called police to the home, worried for Bryant's welfare after not getting a rent payment since last October.
The landlord sent detectives to the home because he hadn't gotten a rent payment since October. Not the school, not the family. The landlord.
After not getting a rent payment since last October. That's when the kids were found, shaken, scared, and covered in feces, according to the prosecutor.
Honestly, I thought the grandmother was taking care of the children.
This is the ex-sister.
That's the last you heard.
Yeah, that's the last. You went 4 or 5 years without seeing your grandchildren. There was no questions.
Thank you.
We stopped by the Pontiac home of Bryant's extended family, where the police eventually took the kids. We wanted to talk to the adults. Hi, how are you?
Yep, the cleanup crew.
Is there anything you'd like to say, sir? No comment given there. We also searched Bryant's Facebook page, which was easy to find and not set to private. Her content shows her modeling various outfits for the camera.
She's going to claim she couldn't afford to take care of her kids, but you got your hair done, you got your nails done, you got new clothes on all your pictures. Come on now.
What do you think should happen at this point?
She needs to go to prison and never see her kids again. Them kids need to go to someone that's going to take care of them.
So here's the cleanup crew.
The investigation continues into Kelly Bryant, the woman accused of abandoning her children for years. In the meantime, crews have started the long process of cleaning out that townhome that those children were in. CBS News Detroit's Heath Kalb is in Pontiac asking neighbors about this case and the cleanup ahead.
Well, I spoke to some of the people who were tasked with cleaning out this townhome behind me, and they told me they've never seen anything like it before.
There was feces
everywhere.
Everywhere on the walls, wiped on the walls. The toilet was like filled up this much.
Cleaners spent all day Friday inside of the townhome on Lydia Lane in Pontiac, where the Oakland County Sheriff's Office says 3 children spent almost every single second inside of for over 4 years while they were abandoned from their mother. And the condition the residence was in is what Sheriff Michael Bouchard describes as deplorable.
I never seen nothing like this before.
Okay, hold on.
How could I never?
There we go. There we go. How are these kids using this bathroom? Look at this toilet. Shower curtain got shit all over it. There was shit all in the tub. What the hell?
Seen nothing like this before. How could someone do something to kids like that? Treat them just like a dog, It's
Worse
just
than a
terrible.
dog.
I spoke to a woman who lives about 10 doors down in the same complex, who told me she's still in shock, and that after living in foster care herself, she's astonished these 3 children were allegedly abandoned for so long without anyone finding out.
It's tragic. It really is. It's been about 4 years, so they were a lot younger when this started, and just the fact that their mom shows up once a week to give them a little bit of food with no hygiene products or anything, it's going to have a lot of long-term, lasting effects on them, and it stinks.
Lovegrove also mentioned the confusion herself, much like many others are feeling, about how the neighbors that shared walls with the abandoned children didn't smell or notice anything off.
Honestly, something like that's going to penetrate. I smell sometimes people cooking in their own places. So the fact that their neighbors didn't notice anything, there were no kind of rodent problem or anything that they were noticing, is very shocking.
Bryant is now being detained on a $250 million cash bond.
I want to show you this mattress.
I'm Heath Kalb, CBS News Detroit.
Hold on. I want to show the mattress. Okay, here we go. I want to show you guys the mattress. Look at all this trash coming out of there. Pay attention to the pizza boxes. That's them cleaning out that townhouse. Bye, Twisted Tea. Thanks for coming. And thanks for subscribing.
Hold on, wait.
Look at the pizza boxes.
A pizza? A whole lot of pizza.
They ate, all they ate was pizzas. Look at this. Watch the garage and how all those boxes are stacked. Look at this. Look at all those pizza boxes. Look at all the shit underneath the sofa. Look at the cobwebs. Look at that mattress. Look at that. The cleaning crew had on hazmat suits.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know if you call it evidence, but they already got her in jail. That's trash. Those kids live. Look at this mattress. Disgusting.
All right.
That's the cleanup crew.
Okay, come on.
Look at that sofa. Torn up. Look. How could you allow your kids to live in that squalor? If you didn't want them, my God, turn them. Give them to somebody. $250 million bond. She's not getting out. The judge also says that she's not to have any contact through phone calls, through letters, through anything. The judge feels that she's still a danger to her children and she might try to manipulate them so they don't cooperate with authorities. So anyway, guys, I gotta go. Wanted to come in and say good morning, hello, how you doing? Yeah, they had on hazmat suits. The same thing they had on when he went and cleaned out Lisa Richards' apartment. Hazmat suits. Debbie and I will be live today. I need to see what time it's going to work for her. I'm going to send her a message in a few minutes so we can go over. Oh, I still need to watch the Baldwins. But I watch Married to Medicine. I've watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've watched Balin. I watched The Last Resort. I watched all kind of shit. They had on hazmat suits. But thank you guys for being here. I really, really, really appreciate it. And Jennifer Positivity, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciated that as well. And again, I'm going to thank all my new subscribers that subscribed last night. I really want to say thank you guys and hope you just come over and have fun with us. No, her family hasn't moved yet. So they said they weren't going to be renewing their leases. So Lisa's family's lease is up in June. But Lisa's still online begging, threatening people. She's going to IP ban you, which there's no fucking way she can do that. Putting out people's pictures because they're not helping her. Oh my God. Wendy, no, but I have it written down that I'm going to start watching Big Family, Big City. I wrote it down. I just haven't had a chance. So, on The Last Resort, that's almost over with. I'm going to have more time after I come back from Houston and New Orleans. So I'll really be able to get all of this. Oh, she's in court right now? Oh, I saw Maddie and Jarrell had court order. So hold on a second. Hold on. Karen Huger, that's right. It is 9:30 there. Karen Huger, let me see if it's on. No. Nope, it's not on the news. No. Oh, it's live. Wait a minute. Oh, but that's on someone's channel. God damn it. What news station is covering it in Maryland. What news station is covering it? Let me see. Fox 5, Washington. Hold on. Fox 5, Washington. Hold on. Let's see. Nope. Nope, they're not showing it. Okay, they're not showing it. So, okay. We'll discuss that later when I come back with Debbie. Hopefully it'll be on then. But there's no live cameras there. What courtroom is she in? Michelle, do you know what courtroom she's in? Let me see if they got live feed from that courtroom. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Hopefully it'll be recorded by then. And Debbie and I can discuss it. Simon is still in ICE custody. He will not be let out of ICE custody at all. She's in, what courtroom is she in? Okay, Michelle can't find it. Okay. I need to get I have a meeting in about 18 minutes, so I really have to go anyway. But I would definitely see you guys later. I'm going to set up my live for tonight with Debbie. It's going to be TLC Wednesday. I need to change that to TLC and Bravo. But anyway, love you guys. Have a great, great day. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Bye.